The Mariana Trench is the deepest part of the Earth's oceans, reaching a depth of over 11,000 meters. The pressure at the bottom of the trench is over 1,000 times greater than at the surface, so what would happen if you dropped a steel ball into it? The steel ball's descent. The steel ball would accelerate as it fell, reaching a speed of about 200 kilometers per hour in about 10 seconds. The pressure would increase as the ball fell, but it would not be enough to crush the ball. Steel is a very strong material, and it would only be compressed by a small amount. The ball would reach the bottom of the trench in about 12 minutes. The impact would create a small shock wave, but the ball would not be damaged. The steel ball at the bottom of the trench. The steel ball would come to rest on the bottom of the trench. The pressure at the bottom is so great that it would compress the ball by a tiny amount, but it would not be enough to make a noticeable difference in the ball's size. The ball would be very cold at the bottom of the trench, with a temperature of about 1 degree Celsius. However, steel does not rust at these temperatures, so the ball would not corrode. The ball would be in total darkness at the bottom of the trench. There is no sunlight at that depth, and the water is too murky for any light to penetrate. The steel ball over time. The steel ball would eventually become covered in a layer of sediment. This sediment would be made up of tiny particles of sand, silt, and other debris that fall from the surface of the ocean. The ball would also be exposed to the bacteria that live at the bottom of the trench. These bacteria are able to survive in the extreme conditions at the bottom of the trench, and they would slowly begin to corrode the ball. Over time, the steel ball would become more and more corroded. It would eventually break apart into small pieces, which would be further broken down by the bacteria. If you dropped a steel ball into the Mariana Trench, it would reach the bottom in about 12 minutes and come to rest on the bottom. It would be very cold and dark at the bottom of the trench, and the ball would eventually become covered in sediment and corroded by bacteria. The steel ball would be a permanent fixture at the bottom of the trench, and it would eventually become part of the ecosystem there. The bacteria would use the ball as a source of nutrients, and the sediment would eventually cover it up. The steel ball would be a reminder of the power of the ocean and the extreme conditions that exist at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. That's it for today. See you next video. If you enjoy the video, like, share and subscribe your channel.